Hi there. Okay, I think it's about time I did a bit of an update because it's been a week. As you know, if you've been following the channel, we have got a May 2021 Walt Disney World trip booked, which we just presumed would be gone pretty soon. We're just waiting for the cancellation email. But it's now looking like it might actually go ahead. I'm beginning to panic.
Plan everything. Plan everything.
So here's the story so far, and this probably won't be news to you because I know a lot of you are living in the same universe we are. Last Monday, the Prime Minister said that he was going to do an announcement on international travel, and everybody waited with bated breath. Everyone got on the edge of the seat. What's he going to say? What's he going to say? And then he did a press conference, 5 p.m, everyone watching, and nothing. I think one of the journalists asked a question and he kicks the can down the road, so to speak. But by this point, it had already been released to the press that there was going to be a traffic light system. What I think happened was they just hadn't ironed out the faults in time for the press conference. So the outline was given to the press and then they decided not to talk about it in detail. All this week, on a daily basis, we've had additional leaks and information about this traffic light system. So here's what we know so far. Disclaimer, I've not got any special information. I don't work in the travel industry. This is just what I'm getting from obsessively reading news websites all week. So there is going to be a traffic light system, as I just mentioned, which means that countries are going to be categorised into green, amber and red, and the green ones are free to travel without quarantine. Now, the only stipulation is that you have a test before you go and you have a test when you come back. There was no talk of vaccinations. Now, this is what we were waiting for because it's very unlikely that most of the adults on our trip will be vaccinated, and we thought that would be the nail in the coffin. But from the UK end, nobody said anything about requiring vaccinations to travel. Big win! There's a slight sticking point with the tests in that I think you're going to have to pay for the tests, and people are kicking around ballpark figures like £200 each. Now, for a family of 3 of us, that would be £600. It's just at that amount where it wouldn't stop us going, but it would be like, you know, when you get one of those massive bills, like you've got to have your car fixed or the boiler breaks, it'd be like, oh no, an extra £600. But I think we would pay it. This has been one of the reasons why the politicians have been kicking the ball around all week, is I think that they're trying to bring that figure down, and the travel industry is not happy about that figure. So hopefully, by the time this comes into practice, that will be a lower figure. At the moment, there's no countries on this traffic light list, and they say that that list will be populated at the beginning of May. Well, again, leaving it a bit late because we're sort of middle end of May, and it's going to be like 3 weeks notice maximum that we're going to get, which is frustrating. But the good news is it's looking very hopeful that the US will be on that list. There's been several articles written that are saying the travel industry is really pushing for that to be the first route because Europe is looking quite dicey at the moment. There was a good article in the Financial Times saying that the travel industry bosses, companies like British Airways and Virgin, were really lobbying for the really lucrative US market to open back up, because even though that's one country, it's a lot of flights, it's long haul flights. And the other thing is, they are doing extremely well with their vaccine rollout. The cases, I believe, are patchy across a very, very big country with a very big population and 50 states. Some states are doing extremely well, others not so much. We're looking at you, Florida. Get your act together. But all the evidence and all the whispers through the grapevine are pointing towards America will be on that list. Now, the one thing I'm quite pleased about that we heard today is that there's, as well as having green, amber, red, they're also going to have a watch list of green countries that are at risk of turning amber. That could be quite helpful because we all remember last summer when all of a sudden they turned off Spain, and there were loads of British holidaymakers over there. I knew a few people who were over there at the time, and with 24 hours notice they said, that's it, you have to quarantine when you get back from Spain. It was a disaster. So hopefully, at the very least, we'll know in advance if that applies to Florida, but hopefully it won't even apply. Hopefully. So in summary, at the moment there's actually no reasons to think we won't be going, other than there's a global pandemic on. I know that seems obvious, but all the talk of international travel resuming, we've ticked all the boxes, and I'm beginning to get really hopeful. Unless we end up fast forwarding to next week when I'm making a video about how disappointed I am the trip's been cancelled. Maybe. But then it hit me. Oh my goodness, there is so much to do. I mean, when it comes to Disney planning, I'm type A all the way, baby. I've usually 6 months out got every single detail planned to the minute detail. This time, in order to protect my own heart, I believe, I really have left everything to the last minute. Going down the list of things that need doing, we need to book the hotel at the airport, the parking at the airport, arrange the Magical Express. We want to link our 2 bookings so that we can have adjoining rooms, or at least rooms on the same corridor. We need to apply for ESTAs, which are the visas to get into America. We need to order the magic bands. Now on that note, all of a sudden, ordering magic bands has disappeared as an option off the UK website. Well, the option is there, but when you click it, it takes you to an FAQ page that says magic bands are not currently available. Now, I know for a fact that they are still available to US visitors, and I rang up to book the Magical Express this afternoon, and I spoke to the guy there, and he says as far as he was aware, they were still available. So I'm hoping that that's just while ever travel restrictions apply, that they didn't want everybody ordering magic bands and they'll come back. If not, we'll just have to buy them when we get there, but I like to pick them up when I arrive. So all that list is going to be settled this weekend. Bosh, 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 book, 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 plan, plan, plan. But then packing and shopping. That might seem to some people like, you've got 6 weeks to go, what's your issue? I know my husband has been known in the past, we did a weekend away, and on the morning that we were setting off, he took a plastic carrier bag to the clothes horse, bunged some damp clothes in, and that was his packing. That ain't me. I start to pack a year in advance. I have got this crazily complicated packing system where I already have flight bags and things like that packed weeks in advance, and then list after list after list. But let's face it, there are things you need to buy. I don't know if my daughter has got a swimming costume that still fits her. Gonna have to buy one. All our sun lotion will expired. We're going to have to buy some. And the shops have been shut. The shops have been shut. So now I'm going to have to get packing lists, work out the outfits, and don't forget, we now have to have masks that match all the outfits. If anyone's at home saying your masks don't have to match your outfits, you don't know me very well. And people are recommending that you have 2 masks a day. Well, for a 2-week holiday, that's 28 masks for hygiene reasons. Oh, I hadn't even thought about that till just this moment. So I've got a lot to do. Right, that was a slightly hyper video because excitement, panic, stress, joy, hope, who knows? I will keep you posted, but for now, I gotta go and write a packing list.
Oh, 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 oh.